So, guys, as 2021 is actually coming to an end, actually, now we're meant to do the intro. What's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football. Yeah. But yes, as 2020 is coming to an end, I feel like it's good enough that we do a Team of the Year, well, Premier League Team of the Year. We're going to do the World Team of the Year at a time, but let's get our Premier League Team XL11 going. Me and Jack agree that it's going to be a 4-3-3, Jack. Are we good with that?
We do. So my team's a 4-4-2, but I think you can move one of the guys around, and we can make it work. I'm okay.
Okay. So let's get started right now. Premier League XL11. Goalkeeper, Jack. Who do you have?
So I got Dean Henderson. So I'm looking at a guy who has gone through a lot of work, especially in his time at Sheffield United. He's been regarded as one of the better goalkeepers in the league. He's in a position now where he's fighting with David De Gea, who's the highest paid Premier League player in the league, for the starting goalkeeper position. You'd imagine this is the future number one of potentially for England and Manchester United, starting his career, playing very well and having to put the work in. I understand that something that's going to take away from Henderson is the fact that this year he's not played in as many games as maybe he'd have liked to. But I think that his work rate, I don't think it's really up for debate that he was the best goalkeeper of the year for the 1920 season. I think what's going to take away a bit is the 2021 season. He's not been quite at it. I don't know what you think. I don't feel crazy strong about having Henderson as my keeper, but that's my pick.
For me, it's a no contest. I feel like the best goalkeeper has Allison Becker. You know, I think he was voted in the FIFA World Team of the Year. How Neuer won the best goalkeeper, he was in the XL11. Becker, he's been in and out with injuries, but when he was there, but when he is in the Liverpool team, solid. You know, absolute presence. You know, he's a championship winning goalkeeper. Dean Henderson, to be honest, when you look at everything, yes, he was good with Sheffield United last season, but when he came in from Manchester United this season, hasn't been that great. You just look at the game against Sheffield United when has a bit of a clanger for the first goal, and the second goal I felt he could have done a little bit better there. Can we both agree is Allison Becker as our goalkeeper?
We can. I mean, I'd love to have the stats up with me about how many games Allison missed with injury, but I will give you that because I don't feel crazy strong about that. I feel like there were, I think you could have maybe even said one or two other goalkeepers where I'd have been like, okay, they had a good year. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's move on to right back now. And can we both agree? Can we short Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jack?
I've gone for Ricardo Pereira for Leicester.
Jack, you serious?
I am serious. I think Ricardo Pereira had a really, really good year. And I think
this season he hasn't. I don't think he's played this season.
He hasn't because of injury. But what I want to say, Trent's not played a lot this year either. I'm just putting that out there. But I'm just saying, Ricardo Pereira, I think, had such a good year last year. That's why I'm giving him more credit than Trent did. I totally get, and you're going to win this. I know you're going to win this, and Trent will be right back. But I think that at points last year for Leicester, Ricardo Pereira, we were looking at a guy going what the hell is this guy capable of doing? The Leicester team was so different without him in it. He was definitely the better player statistically in all the areas you look at in terms of value for a fullback. But I know that Trent's going to be the one that gets the headlines and the plaudits. But that would be my pick. I'd have Pereira right back.
Player out for this long. I don't think he's played this year. That's why Pereira. I haven't heard that much about him this year. Trent has been in and out this like this season with injuries. But look at what he's given us. The totality of 2020. Another player voted in the FIFA Team of the Year. I don't think we can deny him. Trent.
Yeah, no, I'm giving him. I'm just. So he's played once this year.
Exactly. Another one for James Macanjula.
I get that. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, let's move into the two centre backs now. Let's just agree, Virgil van Dijk.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we know. So the question is, who's next to him?
I think Van Dijk could not play the rest of this season, and he'd still make that team.
Yeah, he's just best defender in the world. So Jack, who do you have at centre back next to Virgil van Dijk?
So I know that this Saints team has only done really, really well kind of recently. But since Ralph Hasenhüttl has taken over, the drastic improvement in the way Southampton has played. I think Yannick Westergard has been amazing. I'm not going to give it to Harry Maguire. I'm not going to give it to Aymeric Laporte. I'm not going to give it to Thiago Silva, even though his impact has been terrific. Soyuncu, I know, has been good, but it's been a little off it. Yannick Westergaard, Southampton would not have got the plaudits at the end of last season that they would have gotten now, but it's purely because of their league position. He's been brilliant for all of 2020. Bednarak is a good partner for him. The midfield work hard. He's got some decent fullbacks around him, a solid goalkeeper in McCarthy. But I think the team are totally different without Westergaard. I know that this might not be the most popular decision, but I honestly think the best 2020 defender in the Premier League has been Yannick Westergaard for Southampton.
Okay. I was going to go for Connor Cody from Wolves. To me, the centre back next to Virgil van Dijk there was no outstanding candidate as it always is. I was also thinking of Fabinho for Liverpool, who's when he slotted into centre back has been absolutely brilliant.
As well, it borderline doesn't matter. I think you could probably put like a plastic fork there and they'd still defend pretty well. I
would give you Vestergaard to be fair. You know, I'll let you have that one. Former Southampton player next to a new Southampton player.
All I'll say is, I think also, and I know this isn't the way we should do things, 2020 is not over yet. And the outlook for even this last one or two games for Southampton, Vestergaard's going to really have a really strong couple of games. That Man City game, Vestergaard did not look out of place against a really strong Man City side. And I think he deserves it. He's been really good for a really long time.
So we've got the next player. The next position is the left back position. Who do you got for this, Jack?
To me, this was the no contest. I think there were a couple strong candidates at right back, hence why I went with Ricardo Pereira. I thought he had a great year last year. Andrew Robertson.
Left back, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Alexander-Arnold is the better of the two. I don't think that's really up for debate. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But he's such a great character, as well as his footballing ability and what he brings to the team. He's such a fantastic character. I think a day where Henderson's maybe not playing, a day where Van Dijk or Alisson's not playing, you know, Andy Robertson could be captain of Liverpool. We're not ruling that out.
He's captain of Scotland anyway.
There we go. So he deserves his spot. This one for me was a bit of a lock. I think you and I both had like maybe 5 or 6 locks in this team, which we're going to agree on. I assume this is one of them, right?
Yes, I totally agree. Andrew Robinson, what can I really say about the guy? He seems to be an amazing character in the Liverpool changing room. One of the most consistent players. You don't really see him have under 7 performance. You know, he's consistent every game, and he seems to be played. He plays. He doesn't get injured like the majority of Liverpool players. So he's been absolutely brilliant. But let's move on to midfield, and this is where it could get a bit sticky. I don't know, but can we both agree KDB is a shooter?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Guys, everyone listening at home, we don't need to talk about this for a long time. On his day, this is the most talented player in the league. Potentially, if Messi's maybe pulled a hamstring, this is the most talented player on the planet. You look at certain passes on FIFA, you've got your controller, you're just running into the final third and you can see a little pass. That kind of thing from your sofa that you can see, Kevin De Bruyne can see in real life. And he's capable of doing it outside of the foot, inside of the foot, everywhere. That little kind of half space at right central midfield, unbelievable. And I think recent comments from Pep Guardiola saying, yeah, I'm never dropping De Bruyne, even if he's tired, says it all. If one of the greatest managers of all time is saying that this guy's playing even though he's tired, tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, KDB. He almost has like he almost have like a picture of the whole pitch from like the top of this like stadium. It's absolutely incredible. Passes. I can wax lyrical about this guy all day long. But let's move on to the player next to him. I have another one to me, should be a shoe, is Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. So to me, if you're doing a player of the year in the Premier League, Fernandes wins this hands down. From day of signing to now, this is the MVP of Premier League football. I think he has the same amount of assists as De Bruyne since signing. He has way more goals. His value to the team he's playing for is way higher than De Bruyne's. You know, I think without Fernandes, Man United are a bang average team, and yeah, fully deserves his spot. And that cultural reboot we're talking at Man United, he is a real pinnacle of that.
I won't be surprised in a few seasons that we see this guy become a captain. He's came in and just been absolutely brilliant. He scored a lot of penalties. Like the amount of penalties this guy gets is incredible. But we talked about the influence Paul Pogba was meant to have on this team. Bruno Fernandes having it on this team. He really carries them and made them to be a title contending team. He's been absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I totally agree with you there. But then it's the player next to them. It's the third player next to them, Jack. Who do you have?
So I've got a 4-4-2. If you're making me pick, I've got a 4-4-2. I've obviously agreed with James. We'll do a 4-3-3, and I think the guy I'd drag into that midfield from one of the wider positions is Jack Grealish. One-on-one, I don't know a scarier matchup for a defender in the Premier League right now. I'm trying to wrap my brains. I think maybe at a point it might have been Adama Traore, but I'm just kind of having to think. I don't know if one-on-one you'd want to be against somebody than Jack Grealish. You know, stick out a leg, Grealish is going down, you know, that's for sure, and you're giving up a penalty. Go ahead, James, sorry.
I want to agree with you there, but I had Jordan Henderson. I feel like you look at what they able to contribute for the Liverpool team, and yeah, I understand coming to the end of last season, they kind of dropped off, but when he's on, you can see the difference when Jordan Henderson is there and isn't there. He makes such a big difference to this Liverpool team. He has been absolutely brilliant. His game has improved so much. Again, he still has to work on parts of it, but you can see his development. And as a captain, he's one of the best, not just in the Premier League, but in the world. If you want to go for Jack Grealish, I'm fine, but would you give Jordan Henderson? I'm going to let you decide with this one, Jack. You know, I'm going to let you decide because I'm calm with either player going in.
I think Grealish kind of like slowly built to where he's at today over the course of 2020, whereas Henderson really maintained a top level throughout the year. And I'd be going against one of my biggest things, which is intangibles in sport. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't know if there's a better intangibles athlete, mentally strong as there is as Jordan Henderson. So I'm happy to give you that. I was kind of going fantasy, going way too attacking, De Bruyne, Grealish, and Fernandes in the same midfield, you know.
So are we going to agree with...
Yeah, I'm happy with Henderson. Yeah, he'd probably have been second on my list for sure.
Okay, Jordan Henderson, again, another win for me there. I'm happy for that. And also winning Sports Personality of the Year, was being nominated for that too. That's great. So let's move on to, let's go to the right-hand side of the front three. Who do you got, Jack?
So in my 4-4-2, I would have had Jack Grealish as my right-sided midfielder. So what I'm going to do, because I think we'd probably agree on the left-sided player, I've got two strikers, so I'll just pick one of my two strikers. I've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a breakout star this year. He's making a claim for certainly making the plane into Euro 2020, 2021. He's been so dangerous for Everton this year. Nobody's talking about Richarlison and his lack of productivity because DCL's just kind of picking up the check and paying it off himself. He's been so dynamic. That kind of killer instinct that you spoke about recently with Werner, this is something that Calvert-Lewin has adopted this year. His growth over the course of this past season, and now under Carlo Ancelotti with the midfield that Everton now have, I think he fully deserves his spot on this list.
I really like that nickname, DCL. I rate that still. Like, DCL, that's decent. That sounds like a clothing brand. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah.
But my player on the right-hand side, I know you're not a fan of him, Jack, but you just can't argue what this guy's doing. The productivity, it's Mohamed Salah. 13 goals this season. He is the top goal scorer last season, banging it in 2021. He's always in the top goal scorer race. And, you know, you say he gets a lot of chances, but at the end of the day, he scores his chances, you know. I think he probably has over nearly 30 goals in 2021 just in the Premier League. I gotta put Mo Salah in there.
yet again, and before recording, I just want everyone to know I knew James would just walk me on this. I was just going to give him the players because my arguments aren't strong enough. And I'll own that. I get that. I just want to defend myself a little bit. I'm a Roma fan. Mo Salah played for Roma, was great for Roma. I'll be honest, I was glad when we got money for him. My issue is that Mo Salah is put in a fantastic position to score goals. And I think you could name a laundry list of players who would give the same level of output as Mo Salah does in that Liverpool team. Now, doesn't make me a hater. I hope you guys might think differently. I'm happy to give him this spot on this list, but I'm a big guy on environment, and I think Mo Salah has the perfect environment to do well. If you gave that to any other player, I think they do equally as well. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to the next player now. Another one for James. I'm taking some serious dubs right now. Jack, do you want to go striker or like should we go to the left-hand side?
I think left-hand side we're going to agree, but to be fair, I also think striker we're probably going to agree. But so you choose.
Okay, let's go for left-hand side first because I feel like we might not agree with this one because I might put a little surprise here for you. Left-hand side, I have Sadio Mane.
Yeah, I have Sadio Mane too. This to me was one of my locks. He's so good. I mean, Jesus, he's good. And the thing is, I think. The brilliant thing about Mane is people don't really talk about what a fantastic dribbler, or wow, how quick is he, or how good is his finishing, or how good. He does everything so well, even to a standpoint of defensively, he does everything so well. He does it with a smile on his face. He supports his teammates. There's no red cards. There's no petulance. There's no off-the-field issues or anything going on. He's such a good guy, a fantastic professional, and a brilliant footballer. Everyone going out there, my Salah Mane debate is very, very easy for me. Sadio Mane is way better than Mo Salah. It's not close. This guy's a lock for left wing in my team of the year.
For me, Sadio Mane is one of the best wingers in the world. It might be the best in his position. Right now. I understand you have your Neymars there, but this guy is frightening and devastating. And the goal he scored against Crystal Palace, his ability just to touch and let go like that. He does need to improve on his finishing because I feel like he is wasteful, and that's the difference between him and Mo Salah. Mo Salah's goal productivity is so high, so that's why you can't complain with him. But he gives Liverpool so much. Such an underrated football player.
Mane's team contribution outweighs any other player in left wing. Any other player. Just purely from the whole package as a footballer. And that's the thing. I know Neymar will always get the credit, and I know Vinicius coming through and Mbappe and those kind of younger guys, but man, Sadio Mane is amazing.
Bear in mind also this guy was voted 5th in the FIFA best voting. So that just shows you people understand how amazing this guy is, voting over like KDB and all that. But let's move on to the last one. We got the number 9, the striker. Jack, who do you got?
I got Harry Kane. I got the best player in the world right now. No, I'm only winding James up. But seriously, goal contribution, importance to team. This to me is my second most valuable player in the league in terms of team importance. I got Bruno Fernandes number 1, Kane as number 2. Unbelievable. Goals, assists, new role in this team now as well, offering more assists to the team. Kane is my 2020 striker.
Beautiful, Jack, because unfortunately I don't have Kane. I have Jamie Vardy. Premier League Golden Boot winner last season. 11 goals this season.
I'm taking this one. This is mine.
Jack,
I gave you all those players. I'm having Kane as the 2020 striker. That's my...
Jack, come on. Do you know what it is? Let me bring my brother here. My brother, come on. Abraham, come pop in for me. Come pop in for a minute. He's going to be the deciding factor right here. Come on. Come into the screen. Tell me, who you got? Harry Kane or Jamie Vardy? You have the verdict
for the whole year 2020.
The whole 2020. Who do you got?
Jamie Vardy.
You got Jamie Vardy?
Jamie Vardy.
2-1, Jack. 2-1.
Hey, I
Okay. Do you know what it is? I'm gonna leave it out to you guys, please. Let me know. Vardy, Kane. Comment down below, guys. Thank you for watching Boxing Box Football. This is our team of the year. Allison. We got Trent Alexander-Arnold. We got
Van Dijk.
Westergard. Andy Robertson. Bruno Fernandes. Kevin De Bruyne. Jordan Henderson, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and
Harry Kane.
Jamie Vardy.
Harry Kane. All right. Good night, everybody. Harry Kane. All right.
Comments down below, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a bit.